Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, and man, oh man, it is time to make everybody feel old. Do you remember Black Ops 2? Do you remember looking forward to that game? Do you remember how everything within Black Ops 2 was futuristic and it was set in the far off and away land of 2025? Well, not only are we in the year 2025, but as of today, all of the events of Black Ops 2 are now technically in the past. This means that in the current day, everything that happened within the Black Ops 2 campaign technically happened in the past, and if that doesn't make your back hurt, then I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I'm freaking aching over here. I feel absolutely ancient. It turns out that Black Ops 2 ties quite nicely into today's topic because after 12 years, Activision have decided to reboot an old YouTube channel of theirs. They're doing this as a way to sort of market Black Ops 7, much in the same way they marketed Black Ops 2 back in the day, and the YouTube channel is called Cortis Die. There are only 2 videos there total. We have the one from 2012, which of course was promoting Black Ops 2, and now we have the one from today. The teaser itself is incredibly short. I think it's about 15 seconds long, so I figure I might as well play it here in this video.
2025 was just the beginning. A necessary first step. Once again, you shall know fear.
So 2025 was just the beginning in reference to Black Ops 2, and that's also reflected in the fact that Black Ops 7 is set 10 years later in 2035. We saw all sorts of buildings on fire, the Eiffel Tower had some smoke behind it and everything, and they're trying to set up the campaign, but honestly, I really don't think any of this matters. Like, do you remember how when they were teasing Black Ops 6, they literally had like Margaret Thatcher and George Bush and Saddam Hussein in the trailer, and it literally led to nothing and had nothing to do with the actual story? They were like vandalizing Mount Rushmore and shit and had nothing to do with the actual game. Like, these marketing teasers rarely lead to anything and they rarely pay off. And maybe I'm being a bit too pessimistic here, but am I the only one who is just sick of these things every single year? Am I the only one who just does not care about these whatsoever? Like, instead of doing proper marketing and properly hyping up the game, instead they're out here drip feeding us teasers. They're setting out these little crumb trails for us to follow that usually lead to nowhere. Remember the whole the White Forest nonsense back in Black Ops 3, or pawn takes pawn back during Black Ops Cold War? Again, we just talked about it, the truth lies within Black Ops 6. It's honestly always terrible marketing. It's like, oh boy, today there's a TV station and tomorrow it's going to be updated so the TV station has slightly more static. What could that possibly mean? I'm losing my mind, guys. This is so crazy. And then you have the zombies YouTubers, right? And the Activision YouTubers. You know, the people that work with Activision. Activision only sends them out a bunch of random stuff in the mail and they have to slowly open it on their social media pages and everything. And it always ends up being nothing, essentially. Like, you'll have that TV static there, and then these like Activision shills, these like zombies YouTubers and whatever, they'll pop out of nowhere being like, well, actually, the TV static is sort of in the shape of a pilgrim hat if you really squint your eyes enough. And then pilgrims, of course, invented Thanksgiving, and on Thanksgiving, you eat turkey. Well, back during Black Ops Cold War, there's a mission on a Turkish airfield. In that mission, you pull out a remote-controlled RC car, and RC cars, keep in mind, were very popular back in the 90s when Black Ops 6 was set, and Black Ops 7 is a sequel to Black Ops 6. Therefore, RC cars likely still exist within universe, and there was an RC car in the 90s movie Toy Story. Therefore, Buzz Lightyear is getting his own tracer pack within Black Ops 7. Let's go, Reddit. We figured it out, everybody. I'm so sick of it, man. They're gonna milk this whole Cortis Die thing for as much as they can so they can put off revealing the actual stuff that people care about, and I honestly think that's the opposite of what they should be doing. I think it's pretty clear that Black Ops 6 is hanging on by a thread. I'll have more on that here in just a little bit. So when it comes to Black Ops 7, they should just start posting everything so fans can start the feedback loop. If they don't want a repeat of Black Ops 6, especially in a year where they're going to be fighting GTA 6 and Battlefield 6, then they need to hit the ground running right from the beginning of the beta and right from the very launch of the game. No more of this typical COD cycle shit where you have to wait 6 months for the game finally feels complete. Have the game actually working, functioning, and be complete at launch for a change. How they could do that is reveal the multiplayer. They could talk about the perk system, the class system, the kill streaks, the maps, and above all else, the matchmaking system, and then start taking in that community feedback. The longer they wait to reveal the Black Ops 7 multiplayer, the less time they have between the reveal and the launch of the game. And the less time between the reveal and the launch, the less time they have to make impactful or meaningful changes. Just look at what happened with wall running and double jumping. They were apparently going full steam ahead with that idea until it got leaked and they realized that everybody hated that idea, so they had to backpedal. And if they're at the point where they think that the community wants wall running to return to the COD franchise, then what other kinds of bullshit are they possibly cooking up over there? When they reveal the multiplayer, it might be full of a bunch of nonsense that fans are going to hate right away, and then they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, and then the game's going to feel even more incomplete at launch, and it's this like vicious cycle, man. Like, they should definitely just reveal the multiplayer and start that feedback loop now, because once again, we don't know what they're possibly cooking up, but what we do know is we have some leaks for the multiplayer, which we will be covering in this video, and we've also recently heard that Sledgehammer Games has taken over the multiplayer from Treyarch, so I suppose right now, anything is technically possible. So like I mentioned earlier, we got some leaks for Black Ops 7. I actually covered these when they initially came out, but almost everything is coming to fruition. Back in October, we got leaks from a supposed focus group for Call of Duty 2025, and so far, pretty much everything in there has come true. Showing the leaked images will probably get me in trouble, so instead, I think it's pretty safe just to show the tweets in order. So first things first, we have the campaign, which is set in 2035 with David Mason as the protagonist, and of course, that has been confirmed to be true, and look at the dates. All this stuff came out in October. Next up, we have them adding more options to the human shield mechanic within the game's multiplayer, which is weird. I mean, I'm pretty sure most people just diddy each other anyway, so what's the point of even focusing on that mechanic? But next up, we see Omni Movement, and Omni Movement returns in 2025. You can now do a little wall jump to get the advantage over your enemies, and that's been all but confirmed. I mean, recently Activision came out and said no wall running and no double jumping within Black Ops 7, but in the actual leak from October, it said verbatim, the next evolution of Omni Movement, and that's the exact phrasing that Activision used just a couple of days ago in their COD pod, so that's pretty much confirmed as well. And then of course the leak said that Black Ops 7 would be full of Black Ops 2 map remakes. So pretty much everything from that leak back in October is coming true right now in June. I suppose the big question here is, how will things change with Sledgehammer Games running the show instead of Treyarch? It's really weird, like Treyarch have always run the Black Ops games, but Activision has demoted them and put Sledgehammer Games in charge. They certainly do have their work cut out for them when it comes to winning back the community, and among other things, I suppose one of the ways they can do that is to start making events good like they used to be. If you guys haven't heard, they started a new Rivals event within Black Ops 6, which challenges you to do the ever so fun task of just gaining experience. And I suppose that's better than relying on random coins and blaze bucks and where the hell to drop off players, but still, it's nothing to write home about, especially considering it was delayed over a week for some reason. I don't know, maybe ChatGPT couldn't come up with a rival coin design or something like that for players to drop, so they had to switch the event from coin-based to XP-based. I have no idea, but one thing I do know is the game right now is absolutely busted. You guys saw my previous video where I got my new PC, and I just want to say right here and now, thank you all so much for the warm reception to the PC video. I was kind of nervous about that because it's not normally the kind of video I make here on the channel, but you guys liked it, you guys watched it, a lot of you went over and checked out E-Rock's channel. It was freaking awesome. You guys did great with that. Well, when it comes to that new PC, I figured it would be interesting to try out Black Ops 6 on the highest settings, you know, just kind of get a feel for how the game is running and everything. And what I ended up finding honestly had me scratching my head, like, why is it, if Black Ops 6 is supposedly doing so great, it's the #1 game in the world, stop looking at Steam charts, the game's doing amazing, it's so freaking popular, if all that is true, then why are pretty much half the playlists in this game completely dead? I mean, seriously, has anybody tried searching for anything outside of the featured game modes? Just a bit ago with Season 3, they brought Demolition back into the game. It was a core advertised feature on the Season 3 roadmap, and less than one season later, literally nobody is playing it? Like, you guys might think I'm exaggerating, and maybe I am a little here, but it took me over 5 minutes to find a single match of Demolition, and that particular match started with only 4 people on each team. Like, you're telling me that the biggest game in the world with full crossplay, connecting Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, Xbox One X, PlayStation 4, Steam, Battle.net, Microsoft PC app, and everything else, all that combined, you cannot find 12 people in the entire world at 5 p.m. on a Friday to play Demolition? Like, how is that even possible? And what about Control? That was my favorite and most played game mode back during Black Ops 4. I love Control. It's a really good game mode, but it's also completely dead here within this game. You literally cannot find a match. What about 10v10? I always like 10v10 because skill-based matchmaking seems to be toned down within that particular game mode, but that's also completely dead. Like, if you can find a lobby, it's going to take you more than 5 minutes most of the time. Like, what's actually happening here? It should not be this hard to play the game. I know that Call of Duty has a lot of bloat to it, like way too many game modes and everything, but if the game is really as popular as they say, especially with full crossplay turned on, this should not be a problem whatsoever. It genuinely feels like I'm playing an old, dead Call of Duty game, and a lot of you guys probably know what that's like. You know, you try booting up, say, Call of Duty Ghosts, you know, here in 2025, and when you do that, you can pretty much only play Team Deathmatch, right? If you try searching for Domination, you might find like one lobby and that's pretty much it. If you try playing Search and Destroy, you're going to find like the one or two other people in the entire world that are searching for that playlist, and you guys all end up in the same lobby and just sit there in the pregame lobby forever because nobody else is going to join. Well, that's exactly what it feels like when you try to play the non-featured game modes within Black Ops 6, which is yet another indicator of how badly Activision and Treyarch messed up this year. Now, one final topic I would like to discuss before we wrap up the video here today is we were right, or at least a lot of us were right. Do you guys remember how back during Season 2 in January, it was really strange that they seemed to rush out the Tomb Zombies map so quickly after they launched the Citadel Zombies map, right? Like, Citadel was blowing up, everybody was enjoying it, and like right after that, they're like, hey, here's the Tomb, have fun, you know? The map felt rushed, and at the time, Activision was bleeding players like no other. A lot of us, myself included, believed that that map got rushed out in an effort to try to slow the bleeding of the player base, and it looks like we were pretty much right, because during the most recent COD pod, they announced that Season 5, which is set to launch at the very beginning of August, is going to be the final Zombies map for Black Ops 6. There will be no Zombies map for Season 6, if we even get a Season 6 anymore. Now, depending on the release date of Black Ops 7, that means that fans will have to go probably 2, maybe even 3 months after the launch of Season 5 before they finally get a new Zombies map within Black Ops 7, and the leaks are currently suggesting that those maps within Black Ops 7 are just going to be remakes. We know Transit, of course, is coming back, but we're also getting reports coming in that they're going to be remastering Mob of the Dead. It sure does seem like Activision has been scrambling to fix the player situation as of late, and it seems like pretty much nothing has worked. I think that right now they are just happy to sit back and keep collecting their money from everybody buying those $30 shop bundles and those $30 Black Cell passes, but that can only really take them so far. The annual Call of Duty release cycle happens for a reason. They are reliant on those initial sales figures, and they are reliant on pushing everybody into the new game, because once they're in the new game, they can reset our levels, they can get rid of our old guns, they can take away our old operators and our old cosmetics, everything. They basically give us a fresh start, and the entire COD cycle is dependent upon that. The whole system falls apart if they can't hype the game up enough for people to actually care, and right now, they aren't doing that. Right now, the hype surrounding Black Ops 7 is virtually non-existent. They truly do have their work cut out for them this year, and I hate to be the bearer of bad news. Actually, I take that back. I love being the bearer of bad news when it comes to Activision, but this whole Cordis Die nonsense, you know, the 10-second teasers, the same old song and dance marketing that we get every single Black Ops game is not going to do anything. It's not interesting. It teaches the player nothing. It goes nowhere and only further delays and hinders the game from reaching a better launch date because they are too busy listening to Jim from marketing's big idea that justifies him making 5 times as much as the actual developers of the game. Of course, once we learn something notable about Black Ops 7, I will keep you guys posted and informed with a brand new video, but for right now, I'm going to wrap up this particular video here today. I hope you guys all enjoyed it. Leave your thoughts and feedback about existing in a world post Black Ops 2 down there in the comment section below. Be sure to sub to the channel if you guys are new around here. Thank you all so much for listening and for your continued support of my channel, and until next time, I hope you guys all have a wonderful day.